It actually came down between a legal career and pursuing a career in medicine. I had equal interest in both. I decided to go into law, and because of that interest in medicine, I decided to go into health law. So it was kind of a nice blending of my two areas of interest. Get a chance to work on complex issues, work with a lot of interesting people, particularly in the healthcare area. You're working on critical issues that are pretty fast-paced and changing pretty constantly, and I find that dynamic pretty interesting. The healthcare industry is obviously a critical industry. It is subject to change more routinely than most industries. It's a highly regulated industry, which is where we come in. And it's an industry that involves a lot of different players, a lot of moving parts. We represent a broad array of providers and facilities in the healthcare industry. And we face a whole litany of issues that are changing pretty much constantly. Personally, I do a lot of strategic engagements with my clients. So when they're facing a particularly critical decision within their company, often I'll get brought in to consult. It's a bit of a blend of a legal engagement and business consultation because we spend so much time in the healthcare industry. We typically work with a lot of different types of facilities or providers within their niche on a national basis. So we have a good perspective on what's happening nationally, what the trends are, what their options might be in terms of strategic planning. Our clients put a lot of faith in us. They get us actively involved in their businesses. We're not just serving as lawyers for them. We're I guess, trusted advisors or consultants. You feel more a part of their business than I think you might in a traditional legal practice, and that's very appealing to me. I think my clients would describe me as a facilitator of relationships. I really make a concerted effort to introduce my clients to other clients where there might be a business synergy or other third parties that might present them a business opportunity. I think that is not necessarily something that a lot of lawyers do. I connect clients, basically. And I would say I'm proactive. I don't sit and wait for clients to call. If I see something going on in the landscape that I think is going to impact them, I typically call them up and make sure they're aware of it and talk to them a bit about the impact I potentially see for their business. There's my outside interests. I've got a wife and 4 kids, so they're obviously very important to me. Spend a lot of time with them. We travel quite a bit together. I like to scuba dive, so I do that quite a bit. Fly fish, hike, garden, pretty much outdoor activities in general. I don't golf, so a lot of my client entertainment involves fly fishing. I take clients fly fishing pretty routinely up to my place in Michigan, and a lot of them have never fly fished before, but turns out they enjoy it. A lot of them have started fly fishing after we've gone away. Spend a lot of time in the woods and on the river with a client. You really get to know them. You have some great dialogues, I guess somewhat similar to time on the golf course. And you get to spend the day in nature. I think the biggest differentiator is the approach we take to try to get involved as an aid to the client's business, really learning about the industry or the particular client involved, understanding what their stressors are, what the key issues are that they're facing, trying to identify what they would consider to be good business opportunities that we might facilitate. I've I find that when I make introductions of clients to opportunities, either to other clients or other third parties, it's generally met by surprise that we approach our practice that way, but it really forges solid relationships. So I would say that approach of being more entwined in their business than maybe a typical lawyer would be is what would distinguish us most.